Okay, so think about this. What if you could like totally change your life just by getting 1% better each day? That's the really gripping idea from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits.
Yeah, it sounds small, doesn't it? 1%.
It does.
Hmm.
But today, we're really going to dig into five key lessons from that book that are, well, genuinely life-changing. The aim here is to give you a kind of shortcut, get you up to speed on these powerful self-improvement ideas.
Right. Ideas that can actually help you be more productive, more focused, more consistent.
Exactly. And we're trying to cut through the noise, pull out the really important bits.
Yeah, our mission, you could say, is to extract those nuggets of wisdom from the source, give you practical stuff you can use without feeling, buried in information.
Okay, let's get into it then. The first huge takeaway from Atomic Habits is this idea that habits are like compound interest for self-improvement.
It sounds simple, but it's actually quite deep.
It is. The book says something like, just like money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them.
Hmm.
So the real power isn't some massive overnight change. It's those tiny, consistent, almost invisible 1% improvements that just stack up over time.
And that's the hard part, isn't it? Seeing the progress day to day, it's tough.
Totally. People give up because they don't see immediate results.
Mm.
But the source makes it clear that the magic happens when those small actions compound.
That's a really critical point. We're kind of wired for instant gratification, so this long game view, this compound interest idea, it takes a real mindset shift.
Yeah.
Real growth is almost never that sudden breakthrough. It's putting one brick down after another, trusting the process, even when you can't quite see the wall yet. Every little bit counts.
That's such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's about small games, how do we actually make sure they happen consistently? Well, that leads straight into lesson 2, which is about shifting focus. Forget goals. Focus on systems.
Ah, yes. This one really changes how you approach things.
Right. Clear says you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Powerful.
So goals give you direction, sure. But the system, the daily process, that's what actually gets you there. It makes success almost, well, inevitable.
That's exactly where sustainable change comes from. Goals tell you what you want. The system is how you get it.
Right.
And, people sometimes resist this because systems don't sound as exciting as, say, a big goal.
Yeah, less glamorous.
Totally. But like you said, if your system for learning something is just, I hope I find time, well, good luck.
Yeah.
But if your system is practice for 15 minutes every morning, no matter what, then eventually mastery isn't just possible. It's kind of the natural result.
Exactly. And talking about making things happen naturally. Lesson 3 is such a practical one. Design your environment. Basically, your environment often matters more than your willpower.
Oh, this is huge. Absolutely crucial.
The example from the source is perfect. Want to eat healthier? Get the junk food out of the house.
Simple, right? But so effective.
It's about actively setting up your surroundings. So the good habits are easy, and the bad ones are, well, difficult. Making the right choice the easy choice.
Yeah, because it acknowledges we're human. Willpower isn't endless. It runs out. Trying to constantly fight temptation is just exhausting. So shape your space, shape your environment, remove the friction for the good stuff, add friction for the bad stuff. You're basically being an architect for your own choices.
Okay, so environment helps. But how do we make the habits themselves stick? That brings us to lesson 4, the 4 laws of behavior change.
The practical blueprint.
Yes. Make it obvious,
Yeah.
make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. It's like engineering the habit. Make it visible, make it appealing, make it simple, and make it rewarding. The book suggests, like if you want to read more, put a book on your pillow.
Right. Obvious and easy. Brilliant.
Exactly.
And each law tackles a different psychological hurdle, Obviousness is about the cue. Attractiveness is motivation. Easy reduces the effort. Satisfying makes you want to do it again.
So you're not just relying on sheer grit.
Precisely. You're making the behavior almost inevitable through smart design, not just willpower.
Okay. And the final lesson, lesson 5, sort of ties it all together. Focus on identity-based habits.
This one goes deep.
It really does. It shifts the focus from what do I want to achieve to who do I want to become. Like the source says, the goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. It's about seeing yourself as that person first. Every action you take becomes like a vote for that identity you're building.
Yeah, don't just do the thing, be the person who does the thing.
Right.
And this is maybe the most profound part because it anchors the habit in who you are, your self-perception. When your actions line up with your identity, being consistent just feels natural.
It's not something you have to do. It's just who you are.
Exactly. It changes from I want to exercise to I am an active person. That internal identity just pulls you towards the right habits.
Wow, okay. So much good stuff there. We've covered the power of those small 1% gains compounding.
The compound interest effect.
Right. And shifting focus from just goals to
Right.
the systems that support them.
It's really key. Yeah.
Designing your environment to make things easier.
Don't fight willpower, change the setup.
Then, those 4 laws,
Yeah.
obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying the practical steps.
How-to guide.
And finally, grounding it all in identity, becoming the person you want to be.
Yeah. These lessons from Atomic Habits, they're really relevant for pretty much anything you're trying to improve in your daily life.
Absolutely, they really are.
So as we wrap up, maybe something for you to think about. If every little thing you do is actually a vote for the kind of person you want to become, what new identity are you starting to vote for with your habits, starting maybe even right now?